Hello everyone, it's Mr. Fernandez again. And so today my video is going to be about advertisements. And so we are going to do what's called deconstructing advertisements. And so if you look at the word constructing, that means to build something up. And when you deconstruct, that means we're going to take it down. So we're going to start with the four different parts of an advertisement. So you have your purpose, you have your message, your audience, and then you have choices. So those are the four parts of an advertisement. And so today we're going to look at each of those four parts. So for the first one, and you can follow along with the sheet that you already have at home, because I'm going to read it and then I'll explain it to you. So the purpose is the reason the ad was created. Answering the question, what should this ad do, explains the overall purpose. Generally, there are three purposes for an advertisement. So the first one is to inform the audience. And so you're going to inform them of a new product, a new service, maybe a health concern. The purpose is to inform. It's informative. It's passing along information. You want to make people aware of something. The second purpose is to persuade people. You want to convince the audience of something. Now, usually this is a positive persuasion where you want to make people feel good about something. And that usually comes in the form of buy this pizza, it tastes amazing, or use this service because we're very professional, or come to this high school because the teachers are amazing. It can also be negative, but usually that's only in like political ads where it's don't vote for this candidate because they hold these scary views or they're going to waste your money. So typically, probably about 80 to 90% of the time, your persuasion is positive. You can look at an example of Apple and Samsung, how they use persuasive ads. And so it's actually both positive and negative. The third type of purpose is to remind an audience of something. Now, this isn't necessarily, hey, reminder, you have an appointment tomorrow. This is to remind audience of, hey, there's a gigantic sale coming along tomorrow, or it's happening right now. So if you've ever walked by the store H&M and you've seen those big red signs that just say sale, that would be to remind the audience that, hey, there's a sale going on. Keep in mind, you can have more than one purpose. So something might be informative and persuasive. So for example, with COVID-19, they're trying to inform audiences about the virus and how to protect against it. And they're trying to persuade audiences to follow those procedures. But the main purpose, arguably, would be to inform, but people could also argue that it's to persuade. So you could have more than one purpose. So that's purpose. Now, what is the message? Where the purpose is the goal of the ad, so what the ad wants to do, to persuade, to inform, or to remind, the message is what the ad actually says. So sometimes it's explicit. So for example, and I'll put that picture probably just in front of my face, of the hot and ready Little Caesars pizza. It is saying that the pizza is hot and it is ready to pick up. Explicitly, hot, and you can come and pick it up because it's ready. Sometimes it's more implicit, where it doesn't directly say, it's not smacking you in the face like a V8 drink. And so this one, and I'll put this ad up as well, is where you have the Pepsi can with the Coca-Cola cape. I actually really like this ad because people have altered it. And I don't actually know which one is true or if it even is a real ad, but I still think it's great, where one of them says that everyone wants to be a hero, which implies because the Pepsi is wearing the Coca-Cola cape, that Pepsi wants to be heroic like Coca-Cola. Other times it says, we wish you a scary Halloween, where Pepsi is dressing up like a Coca-Cola. And so people are going to drink it and think, oh, I'm getting a Coke, but oh my God, this is actually a Pepsi. And so they are pretending to be Coke, and that's a scary thing. And that's implicit. The ad isn't saying exactly what what it's meaning. And so that's where it's implicit rather than explicit. The third component of your advertisement, that's your audience. And this is a very important part. The audience is the specific demographic. Now, that's a big word, demographic. What does that mean? Demographic is a particular group of people or person. So teenage demographic, you are going to focus only on teenagers. They're the specific group. Your target demographic is female teenagers. You're getting even more specific. Your target demographic is female teenagers who play volleyball. You can get more and more and more specific, but that's what your demographic is. The group of people to whom you are going to advertise. So the way you speak with your friends is likely different than the way you speak with your teachers. If you and your friends speak a language other than English, you may converse in it, whereas with your teacher, who very likely only speaks English, usually me, you would use English. Further, you probably do not refer to your friends as sir or miss, nor do you usually use their last name. An advertisement may show a product for one audience, such as Barbie being marketed towards children and typically female children, but it could be speaking to adults. So I'm going to put the Barbie ad up here so we can take a look at it. And now when we look at it, it's telling us, want your child to learn real life skills during playtime? CEO Barbie, sign up with your code and enter this fun new CEO Barbie world today. Do children have children? Not usually. So if it's asking the question, want your child to learn real life skills during playtime, that's actually talking to parents. So even though Barbie is marketed towards children as a children's toy, this advertisement is speaking towards parents and saying, hey, we are a great toy for your kid. So do you want your kid to learn real life skills? If so, buy a Barbie for them. And ads might have multiple audiences, regularly they do, but you want to narrow in on a target audience. The last component, so component number 4, and this is a very big one and one where people usually get confused. It's choices. Everything, literally everything in an ad is a decision that is made specifically to target that particular audience, to explain and share the message, and to achieve that overall purpose. Everything in the ad does that. So you have your message, you have the choice of who the audience is, you have the choice of the colors, the choice of where information is placed. Every single thing everything that goes into an ad is a choice, right down to if you're making a print ad, you have to determine how big it's going to be. Where is it going to be located? And why are you doing a print ad instead of a video advertisement? Why are you doing a video advertisement instead of a magazine spread? All of these are decisions. And that's why this component is oftentimes so tricky, because you have to be able to justify every single thing you do. So if we looked at something like the Barbie ad, well, why was CEO Barbie placed in the corner and to an angle? Why was Barbie placed in the center? Why is she wearing a blazer? Why is the question up on the top left corner? These are all questions and decisions that have to be made. Usually in English, we read from left to right. And so that's why they put that question there first. That's the first thing somebody's going to read. Want your child to learn real life playtime or real life skills during playtime? And then you have a big picture of Barbie. That's the focus. So you're asking this question and you're looking at Barbie and you're saying, these two, do they actually go together? And as you keep reading to the right, it says CEO Barbie. So CEO Barbie is the answer to this question. So hopefully this video has helped you better understand the different components of advertising and will help you when you're making your advertisements. For right now, you don't need to go into as much detail around the decisions, but if you want to make a strong advertisement, you have to start with what is the goal. So for example, the ones that we're doing about Harry Potter for chapter 5, your goal I've given you. You're persuading the audience to shop at that company. What is your message? Well, you need to decide at that. It's probably to persuade people to shop there. So your message is persuasive, and maybe it will be like Ollivander's, the best wand maker in the world, or Gringotts, the safest bank in all of the world. Then you have to decide who your audience is. Are you going to target adults? Are you going to target students? Are you going to target students in that are wizards and witches, or are you going to target students that aren't wizards and witches and would probably never actually get into Diagon Alley? Who are you going to target? And then you have to come up with what colors are you going to choose? Where will you place it? Everything along that line. So there's a lot to think about. Hopefully this video has helped, and if you have questions, of course, let me know. Have a great day.